How could Darkstone dare to release a skin like this? We have to boycott it. This time, I'll take the lead in resisting this kind of skin. Rubik's Cube Studio's really out of line. Rubik's Cube isn't hardcore anymore. And to better boycott this skin, I've decided to buy it for the sake of criticism. First of all, I'm absolutely not buying this skin because I like it, and it's definitely not because I'm interested in it. The only reason I'm buying it is so I can criticize how the skin isn't hardcore enough. Just look at us, dragging our feet, compared to the hardcore skins they released before, which got so much buzz. They were really popular. Honestly, I personally think the old skins weren't really a problem. They were actually pretty good, except for the fact that they didn't sell well. There really wasn't any big issue. Now, let's take a critical look at this Medusa skin. To be honest, my personal feeling about this skin is, it's not that great, right? I mean, just look at how big this skin is. No, what I mean is, look at how huge this cape is, right? And it's so white. No, I mean, this cape is so white, you can just tell the quality isn't good. We really need to criticize it harshly. Alright, jokes aside, as a streamer who's been playing Darkzone Breakout for 5 years now, I can give everyone a quick rundown of how the skin styles in Darkzone Breakout have evolved. At first, the game didn't plan on making money from skins, so a lot of the early skins were more tactical and rugged. That's why, back then, you could get the Deep Diver skin from the Portstorm event, and it's also one of the reasons why you could even get ** from the Battle Pass at that time. And even, why were there so many interesting, tactical, hardcore skins for everyone to buy back then? Some of you might say, hey, that was a good thing, I wish we could go back to those days. Well, if you think that, you're totally mistaken. The reason Rubik, the company, had that strategy back then was because they planned to make money only by selling the Cohen B. Yeah, back then, Rubik didn't plan on making money from selling skins, but that meant they had to make money from coins instead. And if they were making money from coins, then your drop rates, your in-game environment, your QR code bots, your insane extraction points, wouldn't all of those things have stayed the way they were back then? This isn't just something streamers make up. Aren't you curious why disguises were so ridiculous back in the day? Aren't you curious why the extraction points used to be so bizarre? Aren't you curious why the bots back then were so focused on scanning QR codes? Honestly, to put it simply, at that time, Darkzone was planning to make a big shift from Cohen B, so they were pretty strict with the core content. It looked like they were giving out a lot of hardcore skins and knife skins, but in reality, they only gave those things after cutting back on the basic content of the game. Extracting from the Dark Zone is way easier now. Before, maybe 2 people per match made it out of the second terminal. Now, multiple squads extract every game. It's a different world. As for why skins are flashier or favoring female characters, simple, they sell. Reports can mislead, but the front lines don't lie. People use revenue charts to compare the game to previous years, but it's not just the game. It's because the competition is now fierce. Back then, the Dark Zone was a monopoly, and honestly, it was simple. No matter what, Escape from the Dark Zone would never turn down a chance to make money. If selling roast chicken skins or these kinds of skins didn't make money, they definitely wouldn't sell them. In fact, when they released the first roast chicken pants skin back then, it sold like crazy. So after that, their direction just became to keep selling roast chicken skins. Anyway, right? Most people talk big, but act differently, letting impulse override logic. It's like those flashy frontline skins. As a streamer doing small account charity streams, that's exactly the vibe. Most people are like that. They talk one way but act another, and some don't even say anything online. They just love flashy stuff, they love those cutesy skins, and honestly, they let their impulses take over. Let me give you an example so you get what I mean. If I check 100 accounts, maybe 60 of them have those girls' frontline skins. But those so-called hardcore style skins like Forest Dweller, Boy Band Leader, or Renoir, these skins are the least owned and the ones I see the least in account owners' inventories and personalization settings. So what kind of skins do these account owners usually have in their inventories? It's either those tactical master sci-fi skins, or the cool looking night sword skins, or those super stylish anniversary skins. And then there's a big chunk that's just Evita, like White Rose and so on. Skins like Talia and Girls Frontline are the most popular and have the highest ownership rates in account owners' inventories. And don't forget, I'm a streamer. I check accounts every day. Over the past few years, I've checked at least 20 or 30,000 accounts. And among these 20 or 30,000 people, the skins I see the most are the cheap ones, the roast chicken skins, and the ones that just look cool. As for those so-called hardcore skins you guys talk about, there really aren't that many people who own them. At this point, I have to call out Mofang and Anku for their recommendations. Damn, Tencent, a huge company, actually bows down to player spending and money by making those cash grab skins for their FPS games. Isn't that just bullshit? So as the main host, I have to seriously call out and criticize this kind of behavior. Seriously. Let's take a critical look at this skin. Now, here's a question from the host. Hypothetically, just hypothetically, if both this skin and those so-called tactical style skins were given out for free, but you could only pick one, which would you choose? I feel like 99.99% of people would pick this one. Of course, a lot of people say, hey, you can't compare them like that, but honestly, if you already know what you choose, do you really need to argue with me about it? Also, I've noticed lately that a lot of players on social media have been criticizing Arena Breakout for releasing these flashy, over-the-top skins. You might have noticed many new players don't care about this, and even veterans aren't that bothered by such public opinion. I'm not making excuses for developers, but I've realized it's about safety. Look at the past 5 years. These 5 years have really changed you. Okay, I feel like I can't make a definitive judgment about this kind of thing. I can't say it's good, and I can't say it's bad. I think maybe it's just an objective reality and impact that exists. Here, I want to bring up that classic question. If a ship has all its parts replaced after a journey, is it still the same ship? If most of the cells in a person's body have been replaced through metabolism, are they still the same person? I think this is a question I may never be able to answer.